This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Always delighted to be joined with Joe McNally, especially after a great performance like that from Dennis McCann. And before we get into it, how's things, mate? You doing good?
Fantastic, Lewis. Yeah, nice to see you, mate. As always.
As always, good to see you, man. And yeah, always better when a Dennis McCann puts in a performance like that. Righting the wrongs, I guess you could say, from the first fight with Ionut Baluta, with a cruising to a unanimous decision, and something you must be delighted with.
Yeah, I'm happy for his performance, you know. He never done much wrong. Being critical, you know, maybe he could have squeezed him a little bit more and try and force the TKO. But Baluta's he's a tough man and he's a fantastic fighter. A lot of good fighters haven't stopped him before this, and I really thought Dennis could be the first one, which he showed tonight. He nearly got it, could have got it, but I'm happy with him, man. So pleased with Dennis, the menace McCann.
And when it goes to having a rematch as well against a guy that you share the ring 9 hard rounds with sort of about 11 months prior, does it show sort of the improvements that he's made under yourself, where almost the performance there from that fight to the first fight was like night and day?
I believe so. I believe that performance should have been done in the first fight. You know, people say coaches do this, coaches do that, but at the end of the day, it's the fighter that's got to get in and do it. And thankfully for me, you know, Dennis, whatever you tell him to do in the gym, he's a little sponge and he does it and he listens, and you know, I don't know, maybe he underestimated Baluta in the first fight, but he certainly knew not to do that for this, and I reminded him how good a fighter Baluta is, and you know, he prepared like a trooper, and I think that showed in his performance tonight. But big respect to Baluta. He's a fantastic fighter and one tough bastard.
When you've got a guy like Baluta who's mixed it with top guys around, top domestic guys around Dennis's weight, Liam Davis, Andrew Kane, you know, Brad Foster, for example, do you think it's important that they put in performances like that because they can all get used as measuring sticks?
Yeah, I really do. I think the most convincing victor over Baluta is Liam Davis. You know, the kid sort of give a blueprint, but look, I think Dennis is better than them all, and I think that performance tonight, it showed that Dennis has got the potential to be the cream of the crop, but he's 23 years old, he's now British Commonwealth and European champion, and believe me when I say this, he's still only giving me 60% under the lights of what he's doing in the gym. And I think as his confidence grows, you know, because he come to me slightly confident but a bit disillusioned with the first Baluta fight, and you know, we've worked away in the shadows, and he's a fantastic fighter, and I truly believe he can be a world champion.
One thing I wanted to ask you, when you look at it from a coach and you deal with Dennis, who's a Southpaw, and yourself being a Southpaw as well, do you take, like, is there parts of you that makes it a little bit easier? Sort of, do you take parts from your game when you was fighting to sort of and try and put that in a fight of being a Southpaw?
No, never, you know, because it's irrelevant really, you know. When I was fighting, I was a Southpaw, but every Southpaw is different. You get awkward ones, pressure ones, counter punches, box fighters. You know, I've got to work to Dennis McCann's capabilities, and you know, his capabilities. The sky's the limit for him. He's got talent in abundance, and I think he's just going to get better and better and better and better, Lewis. I really do. You know, I think you might have to pull the kid back a little bit because he's only 23 years old. This win could propel him into the top 10 of every major and world body, and yes, Lee, I think he's you know, he's in a position to direct his career a little bit better.
Whilst I've got you, Joe, I do need to ask about your other stable as well. Obviously, Liam Smith taking on Josh Kelly in a big fight. I suppose it's time for it's almost Liam to remind people, you know, who the fighter he is after the Eubank rematch.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. You know, Josh Kelly's a fantastic fighter. He's a really top talent. He hasn't really ignited his career. I think this has got an Anthony Fowler script writ all over it. You know, they think, you know, there is truth in it. He was fucked in the second Eubank fight, and I really didn't want the fight. You know, his back was injured, the thing. But look, the politics side of the game, without going into details, he accepted it. And look, you make your bed, you lie in it. And he lost that fight convincingly against Chris, as everyone's seen. But, you know, you have to have 2 glass eyes to know that that wasn't Liam Smith that night. And, you know, thankfully for me, he's injury-free right now. He's working away like a trooper. And he'd be ready for Josh Kelly. It's at 160 pounds, so Josh is coming up to that. And he'd be ready. And if Liam Smith puts in a vintage performance, Josh Kelly's in real deep.
You've been around Liam for quite a while now. Obviously, it's actually his birthday today as well. Yeah, it's his birthday.
Metcalf's too.
Yeah, of course.
On the same day, in the next room to each other.
Yeah. So you've spent a lot of time around Liam. You've seen what he's done in his career, and time again, he's proved he can compete at the top level. So when you see the public opinion, I guess, or the opinion of many people in boxing after that Eubank fight, disappointing to see?
Yeah, I was. You know, we've been on a fantastic journey. You know, he come to me, we had a loss, and then we went on a fantastic run. Just constantly in the gym, and it all accumulated in the Eubank knockout. But then, unfortunately, for the second fight, we went into camp, and he done us back in real bad. But as I've just stated, due to the politics side, you know, we had to accept the fight and take it. But, you know, I think people in the industry are just so quick when a fighter loses or think to forget what they are, to go, fuck him, he's gone. It's like, without being, you know, he shouldn't have lost. But if Dennis McCann lost to Baluta tonight, it wouldn't have been the end of the road. I'm fucking sick and tired of people when they lose, they just write them off, you know, and it can ruin many, especially our day and age with the social media, the Twitter, the keyboard warriors. They just talk a lot of nonsense, most of them. But look, if you let that bother you, you're in the wrong game. But, you know, I think he shows me it's there in the gym, and he's very fit. We're well ahead of schedule. He started the camp a little bit weighty, but look, we've had 14 weeks. And when Liam Smith's on it, he's on it, and he's on it. So I'm excited to see as this camp keeps transitioning. We'll microcycle him right so he peaks at the right time, and then let's see what Josh Kelly can do.
Last few from me, did want to continue asking about the stable. Latest with Josh Taylor, has been much conversation of what his next move could be? Yeah,
you know, I think he's in talks with his management team for a takeover fight. He really wanted to go straight into the trilogy with Jack Catterall, but look, congratulations on Jack and his team, good people. Jack got the win, and Jack's pushed on. He's in a magnificent fight with Prograis. I think Josh should, you know, look somewhere else, which he is. Get a name sort of along the lines of another Prograis, get back in the win column, and maybe have the trilogy next year. I think T.O. might be vacating his WBO. Right. Whether Jack goes on and wins the WBO championship and then has a trilogy with Josh, how big would that be? But yeah, he's in good spirits. He was disappointed he never got the decision, and the manner the decision was. But look, congratulations, the two of them. It was a fantastic fight to be involved in. Yeah, I'm looking forward for him to come back into camp.
Anything I'm missing out? Anything else going on with, obviously, Jaddy Herrera? He was very impressive in his Queenbury debut. Jack Turner, impressive as well. Yeah. Obviously, I see Jazza Dickens teased a potential fight in Liverpool. Obviously, it don't seem like that's next. So, yeah, anything I've missed out?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise link-up with Jazza. You know, he come to the gym sparring. Meet Dennis, Frankie Stringer, Heidi Herrera, Jack Turner. They were all mixing it in together. And he's got a lot left in the tank. But it was a bit of a strange one because I'm a massive Nick Ball fan, but Jazza had his eye on him for whatever reason. Well, I do know the reason, but I think it got proposed through Queensberry to fight Jazza because they wanted Nick to take a step back. I think his team wanted to step back because he's had 2 hard fights, and Jazza was that step back. But then when he accepted it, it was like he's too low down. So I don't know what the thought process is behind that, but you know, there's a few options out there for him, and long as he keeps active and in a win column, there's not many dance partners at the weight. Maybe he'll get a shot, maybe he won't, only time will tell. But he's a fantastic guy to work with, and you know, young Jack Heidi, Frankie Stringer, Marcel Braithwaite, they're actually in camp also to fight the fighting in Dubai on the 6th of September, so tune in for that. Yeah.
Perfect, brilliant. Joe, as always, a real pleasure to see you, mate. Top man, thank you, mate. Cheers, thank you.